Yeah, we didn't know we were back here.
Whoop, whoop.
Let me take it off for you.
Oh, baby.
Chicka wow wow. Bow. Yeah, I won't do that again. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm extremely bright. Whoa!
That's the first time I've heard that.
Holy, like, white privilege.
Batman.
It is really bright.
It is bright privilege.
Bright privilege.
Welcome to America. Bright privilege for everyone.
Right, yeah. Well, we've even got like a background screen where we're probably not going to show you like any pictures or anything. You know, we could put a picture of Shahid up there.
We could.
If we really want to increase ratings.
Right. Well, you know, somebody's got to be the hot man.
Well, that's Shahid, right?
It's not me. That's for darn sure.
Them hot boys. Right, well, this is Higher Thought. We're in the back studio, which means we won't be streaming probably because we don't know our password. We don't know our password. We gotta start a new page.
What?
We'll go to Facebook.
Facebook Live it?
Facebook Live it.
All right.
I'm gonna have to get you information.
Oh, geez, I don't have information.
Well, I mean, you know my name, huh? We're Facebook friends, or do you need like my email and passwords and stuff?
You say all that out loud.
No.
Let me say it over the air so all like 13 of our viewers can write it down.
Yeah, and then hack you.
Hack me. Oh, yeah, hack me.
Hack me, baby.
Oh, yeah. Lafayette, hack me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to do a show?
Yeah.
I'm ready. How about you?
Let's go. So I'm gonna write down my password so you can steal my information right quick. All right, and honestly, I'm trying.
And your username, please. What's your just Nick?
I'll give you the email.
Okay.
I think it's under that, huh?
Shit, I don't know, dude. I gave up face crack.
And I'm trying.
Face crack. It's an addiction for people. I refuse to participate in that addiction.
See if that works.
Aye.
See if that works. If not, then we'll stream next week. We'll just stream next week.
Well, I generally stream daily, so.
Well, I stream multiple times daily, and
Depending on how much.
have you ever had
water
issues
drink.
with the stream?
No.
No, slow stream?
No interrupted stream, no low.
I have had the kidney stone before, which messed
how
up the
was that?
stream. Oh, it is not fun. It is not fun.
Did they do the little vibrating thing to try to break up the stones?
I did the little vibrating thing on your mom last night,
right,
but
she said you didn't have the stones for it, so.
Well, I mean, like she had the stones in the other hand.
Well, she's holding it. It's just.
Two stones in one hand, or
Well, from what I understood, it was like marbles, but.
ooh, yep. Are we talking toothpicks or baseball bats here? I don't know. Not.
Flashlights.
Ooh, flashlight. So I feel like I look like a flashlight right now. Like we both kind of.
We're nice. We're bright.
We're nice and bright.
Yeah.
Nice and bright.
And we are off center.
We are definitely off center, and we've got a background screen, but it's just black.
Wait. Okay. No. Other hand.
Oh wait, can we even?
Can we?
No! Screen!
You just lost your arm. Son of a biscuit.
Awesome. So we've got an action-packed show for you tonight, as usual, right, Mo?
Absolutely. Welcome to the realest fake news in Acadiana.
The realest fake news, which of course, if you got the little ones at home,
Remember, we are TVMA.
shh, sometimes stuff will slip out. We get very passionate about our topics.
And we might venture into adult commentary as
Adult commentary, yes. Our, I guess our humor is a little old school.
Right.
Maybe not as PC as people would like it nowadays.
Oh, shut up, you tard.
Yeah.
See?
F you. I'm going to enroll you in Foo University,
Ah,
which
well.
we all know stands for F you. That's another one I use.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can run through the news a little bit, I guess, which of course, I've gotten away from like the mainstream news. It's kind of just like stories that I find throughout the week and like, hey, that's interesting.
Did you see the story about the black hole that swallowed a star?
I've heard a lot about black
large-
holes.
I'm not talking about your
No.
black hole. I'm
What's
talking.
that?
Wrong password.
Okay, try.
MOUSC.
Because I think I had, it was an old one. Okay, try this one.
We're trying to stream, people,
That's an uppercase.
but evidently we're
Yeah.
having streaming problems.
Oh, well,
Once again with the kidney
we're having a
stones.
digital shower.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh, so in the news,
The
it's
news?
so terrible. It's so terrible. This government shutdown is still going on.
Right.
People are still talking about it.
Right.
And to me, the only wall that's kind of really being built is really between the American people. You know, it's just like, oh, let's just get them to argue about something else.
I don't know. Forcing me to go to work and telling me that I'm not getting paid, that sort of sounds like slavery. You're essential, you're crucial, but you're not getting paid.
Well, I mean, and if anything, this is just almost a perfect example of how DC has gotten too much power. You know, in that the federal, our forefathers warned us against the federal government growing and gaining too much power, and the power should be to the states. And ultimately, you know, if the government chooses to hold the American people hostage and have the government shut down, you know, well, then that just shows that they have too much power. And really, a lot of these programs that they're having, they can still function without a lot of these programs.
Okay. There are certain powers, certain functions that are delegated to the federal government. Those that aren't
10th Amendment.
delegated to the federal government are within the purview of the state. Now, you've got the TSA, who is responsible for feeling me up when I go to the airport.
Yep.
Okay, you got the Coast Guard, who is out there trying to rescue people in dire straits. These are crucial functions of the government related to security, yet they're not being paid.
They're not being.
They're not being paid. The Coast Guard members are having to go to food banks. The Coast Guard has given them blank letters to give to their landlords, mortgage holders, that explain that it's not their fault, the government shut down. How does a government shutdown advance anyone's agenda to build a wall or not? We're already at $5-ish billion of lost internal revenue. Spending at grocery stores, blah, freaking blah, freaking blah. See?
Blah, 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 indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed. I'm almost ready to move on from that topic.
Good,
after
let's
that.
go.
Goodness gracious.
Let's go someplace fun. Can we
That was
wrestle
exhausting.
an alligator?
That was exhausting. Jeez. Yeah, let's get all this Trump stuff out of the dang way. How about the Clemson fast food buffet for the Clemson football team?
You know what? Feetsball? I don't care. Give
Well,
it
I mean, like the first thing I thought when I heard that story is like, man, that's like one of the first teams like that's won a championship that's gone to the White House since Trump's been in office.
No, they were there last year.
Was Trump in office then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so Clemson went, but like the Super Bowl team didn't go.
No.
The NBA team didn't go.
No.
You know, so a lot of the other teams haven't gone, is what I was getting at. And I didn't realize, I guess, that Clemson had gone last year
Yeah.
to the White House, whatever. But But, I mean, apparently the players are saying they were okay with it. I mean, like, they like that kind of food. And
Okay, that's not what showed up in my Twitter feed.
Sure. I mean, and a bunch of people have offered them to go eat at nicer places.
Feed them at nicer restaurants and all that.
It's like these kids are really hurting for a meal.
Yeah, but you
go to the White House.
You go to the White House, and do you really want Domino's pizza? Honest to God, I don't want Domino's pizza, even when it's free at work.
Well, and if you think about it, like, how weird was it probably for the Wendy's guys, like getting Donald Trump's credit card and like, let me get that faux for faux, and like 600 faux for faux.
Okay, next, let's move past this Trumpster fire.
How about, did you see the Gillette ad?
I did, and I'm not upset.
Best men can be.
No, the best a man can get. Does that involve beating your wife? Does that involve encouraging your children?
I mean, is that regular male behavior? I mean,
yes.
Because it seems as though Gillette is making a blanket statement to all men. And I would say the majority of men out there are decent people. I mean, maybe that's just my faith in humanity.
Your faith in humanity is sorely mistaken. They're people. People suck in general. I was on the end of bullying because various and sundry reasons. I was a geek. I was a nerd. I was an easy target. You know what? Those people need to get what.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with kindness, I mean, but like they were trying to make it out, I guess, as though, talk to your kids rather than getting on to them, and I mean, I'm maybe
you need
one
to
that
beat that ass.
Right, and I'm perfectly fine with like two young boys tussling with each other. I mean, like if they're not like bullying and there's not emotional harm there,
it's a fair
and
fight,
they're like having a wrestling match or something, by all means, let boys be boys. I mean, like what's wrong with that? Why is there a taboo to that? Why can't boys be boys? Why do we have to have girls in the Boy Scouts? I mean,
oh Jesus Christ. Okay, but if I've got a daughter that wants to beat the hell out of your son, and it's a fair fight, then the winner wins and the loser loses.
See, but that's not a fair fight because if the boy wins, then it's abuse.
How is it abuse if it's a fair fight? They're both in 8th grade. They both weigh 85 pounds, and my 85-pound daughter beats the shit out of your 85-pound son. Where's the drama?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but what if the 85-pound son beats the 85-pound daughter? And I mean, like, there's actually a story about this that in South Dakota, they're considering a bill barring transgender students from competing against opposite biological sex, which is only going to apply for the boys that turn into girls, right?
Different than... Transgender is different than your son beating my daughter's ass.
I get that, but it's the same concept. It's boy against girl. Boy against girl competing, and they say biologically it's not fair when it comes to physical activities.
I know some trans men that have really beefy bodies.
Sure.
I mean, they've spent time...
But do you think that they'd want to compete in an MMA match with a man?
I don't know that they're interested in MMA matches.
Well, say if they were. I mean, because like in certain instances, running track, whether it be playing basketball, whether it be even in MMA, they've had like where the transgender female or male turning to a female goes against another female, and it's basically a former man going against a female, and genetically and biologically, it's not a fair fight.
Are you sure?
It doesn't appear. I mean, they're in the same weight class.
Don't they have to weigh the same?
They're in the same weight class, but, and what the female said after the fight was that she felt overpowered and
overpowered.
Right.
Okay, well, then...
So is it a fair fight? Basically is what I'm asking. Is it a fair fight between boys and girls? Same weight class, same height?
No, if you're willing to step into... the square ring, the octagon, whatever, and you're willing to throw with someone of your own size and weight, then what happens, happens.
Okay.
If she
Basically the girl signed the contract to fight the transgender girl, knowing what the consequences could be of being an MMA fighter. Yeah, you can get your ass whipped.
Right, you might get your ass whipped.
What? Right, okay.
Well, that
Do you
could
think that transgenders should be able to compete in their non-biological sex? So should somebody be able to get a sex change or whatever it be and play can I get a sex change and go join the WNBA?
You could.
Well, I mean, I'm not that good of a
You could. But okay. For dudes that are hetero, they're not gonna cut their dick off just to.
Well, you wouldn't do that, but you might, dress like a girl. I mean, have you ever seen Joanna Man, anyone? I mean, come on.
I haven't seen Joanna.
Joanna Man is about a dude that couldn't make it in the NBA, and he got cut, but so he ended up, dressing in drag basically, and cross-dressing in order to go in the WNBA, and then he was a star there until they finally figured out what was going on.
Is this a TV show?
It was a comedy. It was a comedy. Yeah. It was a movie.
Obviously not my kind of humor.
Well, it was kind of goofy. It had Orlando Jones, I think, in it. Yeah, it was like old and late 90s, early 2000s kind of thing. But,
if it didn't have Sinbad, I missed it.
The point I'm getting to is that, eventually will it become, I can't make the boys basketball team in high school. Maybe I should just be like a girl and, try out as a girl. Because society says it's okay. It's even encouraged that, I be transgender.
Yeah. Okay, dudes aren't going to do it. Dudes aren't going to do it.
I mean, that doesn't mean you have to cut off the wang.
Still, I wouldn't have gone out for the girls' wrestling team.
I'm just saying, it's the mentality of today's youth and our culture.
As much as I like to wrestle with girls, I would not have changed my gender to increase my odds of winning in girls wrestling as opposed to guys wrestling.
So to wrap up the Gillette story, last I checked, it had over 100,000 dislikes on YouTube and only 10,000 likes. So a 10-to-1 ratio of dislikes to likes on that one.
Well,
and a lot of people are saying they're going to switch over to like the Diamond Gold and Shave Club or whatever, the one that comes like in the mail.
Right.
So here's some obsolete man skills to ditch, according to AskMen.com.
Obsolete man skills.
Yeah, and they have 7 different skills that men need to ditch because they are toxic to our masculinity.
All right, go ahead.
Number 1 was hunting.
Wait, what's wrong with hunting?
Hunting is just barbaric.
But if it brings food home to your family, how is that barbaric?
Well, what they suggested that you should do instead of being a hunter is that you should cook instead. Just go to the grocery store.
Wait, meat doesn't come on these little black trays.
Meat comes from the grocery store, Moberly. Don't you understand?
No!
So don't go hunt.
You go out, you hunt.
This is AskMen.com.
Okay, AskMen.com. They didn't ask me.
Yeah, exactly. Number 2, men should stop fighting. Instead, they should mediate.
No.
Talk it out there, buddy.
I got something you could talk out.
Okay, number 3. This one surprised me. Men should ditch the skill of repairing cars.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Instead, learn how to code, because cars were an ancient, kind of mystical element of the 20th century in that you can finally, make a travel across the world. But now that's just common. There's many ways to get around. You should learn how to code to the computer instead, because that is where all the technology is going in the 21st century.
Okay, nothing wrong with learning to code. But if you live someplace where a car is a requirement, say Lafayette, Louisiana, or if you're willing to take your life in your own hands and ride a bike.
Or a scooter, for that matter, around here.
Hey, dude, nothing wrong with scooters as long as you can get 45 miles an hour.
No, I'm talking about these scooters downtown.
Oh, the push scooters, yeah. Oh, God. Those people. Anyway, it's a skill you got to have. You got to be able to fix your
This
shit.
list is insane, right?
That's nuts.
This list is insane.
Okay, give me some more insanity.
Number 4, obsolete man skill to ditch. Fixing your home. Instead, learn how to decorate it. Because the majority of people nowadays can't afford their own home, so you're probably going to have a landlord anyways. So they're going to fix your stuff, so you should just learn how to decorate.
Wait a minute. I own my own shit. How much decoration do I have? Pretty much nothing.
Well, because you're a guy, you know, I'm the same way. My walls are blank, you know, and I mean, like the paintings.
No, in your rental space, man, you had shit up on the walls. It was cool. It looked like totally dope.
Another goofy one. Number 5, you should get rid of leadership. Instead, learn how to collaborate and work well with each other.
No, man. That involves
Somebody's got to step up to being a leader, right?
Right, exactly. And the other part is dealing with people. People suck.
Right, because, they're really accountable for their actions, and they're going to do their part because, people are as good as you.
Yeah.
Only 2 more of these horrible, horrible things that men should apparently ditch, according to AskMen.com. Number 6, men need to quit being the disciplinarian. Instead, learn how to communicate better.
No, you got to be willing to beat that ass.
Exactly. Well, man, I mean, we have similar philosophies on that when it comes to working with kids, and that, you know, you get what you deserve. You know, I'm a reflection of you, you know.
Treat me like crap, you get treated like crap.
Drill sergeant or chill sergeant.
Amen.
It's up to you. And then the last one, how about holding your emotions in? Instead, talk about your feelings.
No, fuck that. Suck it up, buttercup.
So, I mean, you have some toxic masculinity we see here, Moberly.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm so toxic that
I hope you're using your Gillette razor to shave. You know, I mean, because they can maybe help you to be less toxic, you know, and less of a demon like all other men are in this country. You know, because the U2 movement, I mean, the Me Too movement changed everything. The U2, Me Too, whatever it is, and Me Too just made me realize that me as a male, I'm just horrible. I'm toxic to society. You know, I mean, like with all my leadership and, you know.
Your leadership? Well, that's bullshit.
No.
Yeah.
In my own world, I lead my dog. Actually, my dog.
You don't even lead Benny. Benny just goes out in the backyard and shits in the corner.
What? We go on walks, man.
Once a month?
Not when it's really cold or raining.
Right, which means once every 3 months.
It's warmer in the summer, and it's warmer in the spring,
and then when it gets too hot, you don't want to take him out in too much heat.
No, not go in the heat. In the summer, I'm good, bro. What you talking about? You walking old Lucy? Foxy, whatever.
Yes, her fat ass does walk.
Exactly.
And she's a wide-bodied dog, and she's proud of it.
Well, what about your 3-legged pussy?
No. The escape lasts 30 seconds to a minute, and it's like, wow! Bring me back in the house.
Did you see Jazz Fest lineup?
I did. Supposed to have the Stones.
Which, by the way, you're looking at least $250 to get into the Stones.
So brutal, man.
$250 to get into the Stones, but that's a Thursday show.
Do I want to see my grandpa play the Rolling Stones' greatest
That's
hits?
all of Jazz Fest, Mo. It's grandpa's playing. I mean, like, it is the who's who of the 1970s playing.
Who else besides...
I mean, like, do I need to pull up the list here?
Did you hear that the Who's getting ready to tour again?
Yeah, man.
I mean, and the tickets...
It is classic rock radio.
The tickets are like $300 a throw.
Which I actually saw they still have Beach Boys tickets on sale for Hyman Center, but they start at $75.
No, you got to pop a Hyman Center.
And did you see that at the St. Patty's Day thing? They have who is it? Blues Traveler, I think.
Wait, they were popular for a minute back in
they're a good band,
1990.
man. Blues Traveler playing the Patty's Fest or whatever, St. Patty's Fest. So that'll be cool. So the 4-day school week may be becoming a reality in many school districts. In one particular school that did it this past year, they ended up saving over $1 million in costs by keeping school closed on that particular day.
Was this Oklahoma?
I think it was like New Mexico or Arizona. I can't remember. It was one of those states kind of over in the Midwest.
Friends in Oklahoma and their schools went to 4-day weeks.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford
And they swear by it.
They couldn't afford to keep the AC on.
There you go. You know, and they swear by it. And I would gladly teach another class every day, you know, in order to just have the 4 weeks. You know, that was if I was a teacher.
Right, right. Absolutely. Take one more on and get an extra day off. I'm down with that.
No doubt, no doubt. And from what I hear, though, they get off on the Monday. So basically, Monday is the new Sunday, and then Tuesday is the new Monday.
Tuesday is the new Monday. That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's always going to be a Monday no matter what.
Yeah, well, it's just like the feeling would change, you know? I mean, like, if you were a teacher, I would imagine you would do all your lesson plans on Monday now instead of Sunday. So, did you hear in Saudi Arabia, Mecca's Grand Mosque was actually plagued by a swarm of locusts, or black grasshoppers, as the media called them.
Good.
Yeah. So, interesting.
A bunch of religion.
Well,
That's just me.
you know, I mean, like that
Nuke them
was...
till they glow and shoot them in the dark.
Not the religious type. Would you say you're a spiritual type?
Nope.
Okay, so would you say you're an atheist?
Yes.
Okay.
When you die, you're dead.
But wait, doesn't an atheist like believe in like the devil?
No.
Well, okay, because there's another one. It's not paganist. Would be that you don't believe in anything, right?
No, paganism.
Wait, no, paganist is the
Paganism
sun, or
is
the
a
nature.
different thing. It's
Yeah.
generally animistic or natural.
My terminology, I'm tired.
Right.
I gotta look in my brain file cabinets, dictionaries.
As an atheist, there is no heaven, there is no hell. When you die, you're dead. And
Maybe I'm a pragmatist. What I'm going through.
now you could be a deist, which means you're a rational individual and you don't know for sure one way or the other. So you admit the possibility that there is a grand guiding force.
Well, I mean, we could
But
be in
the
the Matrix, bro. It could be an all computer program,
we
you know?
know.
I mean, we could be in somebody's dream, you know?
I'm just keep waiting for the room full of guns to come flying by so I can pick off my MP5s and my...
Well, it's because you don't believe. You know,
I believe lots of things.
Believe Neo.
I believe at least
Speaking of which,
half a dozen
John Wick 3 is
impossible
coming out.
Hallelujah!
Aha!
Parabellum. Get him, Keanu!
Well, at least the trailer is about to come out.
Right, well-
But like me some John Wick. I like me some John Wick.
Yes, especially when all the assassins are against him. He's
And they
gonna
say
kill a
that
bunch
part
of
3 is going to be
motherfuckers.
even bloodier and
Yeah.
crazier than the first two.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I'm
so.
down with that one.
But speaking of movie stuff, how about Netflix saying it's come up with a way to stop password sharing?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we'll see.
what they're
We'll
looking
see.
at...
They have a company that's like
I know,
has
but
an algorithm or something.
because it's regular sharing, right? 2 places. So you've got a child that that you share with. They're in the same location every time. It's not like it's bouncing
Aren't you
around.
my stepdaddy?
Yes, I am.
Who's your stepdaddy?
I am your stepfather.
How about Bird Box? Did you watch that one?
It's on my list, but I haven't done it. Same.
I've heard it wasn't that great. I haven't watched Bandersnatch either. I mean, but Bandersnatch is something that you have to almost set like 5 hours aside.
Right. Well, see,
because you got all the different options.
We've got a multi-day. I have a multi-day weekend coming up, and I'm gonna Bandersnatch it. A friend of mine had a cookie that came from Colorado.
Well, let me know if you want to get some snatch together, bro.
Okay. Now, yeah. That's what she said.
You know, I mean, you gotta throw them in there somewhere. Penetrate the slot. Like in football, right?
Somebody's got to drive it home.
Okay, we're crazy. And then Punisher's coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
That'll be
I've
fun.
heard so much about the new season of Punisher that I'm gonna back up and watch.
Oh, it's worth it. That and Daredevil. I've been telling you for months, but
I know,
yeah,
and that's really gonna be a summer vacation thing where I can just completely, totally veg out and let it just inundate me with.
Well, you like books.
Yeah,
You like books.
I like books.
Do you play Fortnite?
I do not.
Well, a lot of the kiddos
wish I
play
did,
Fortnite,
but I don't.
They actually made $2 billion last year.
Damn.
And their creator ended up just buying an entire forest to prevent it from being chopped down.
Good for him.
Yeah, how about that?
So now he owns a forest.
But they were saying though that video games are way bigger than movies. Like they had, they made $2 billion last year,
Right.
but they had like 4 or 5 games that they were spouting off on that I heard on a news story that was like they made over $2 billion, $1.5 billion, and there weren't many movies that made that last year. So next story here. Terminally ill fan actually is going to get an early screening of Avengers 4 Endgame. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a little Make-A-Wish. Let me see the movie. Marvel introduces their first drag mutant.
What?
Yep. And like it's kind of part of the X-Men, and it's in like a new version, comic of the X-Men that just came out apparently, and it's the first drag mutant.
Drag mutant.
A drag mutant. It's a drag queen mutant.
I'm confused.
Well, what's to be confused about? It's a male mutant
Okay,
X-Men
but you can be a mutant.
that is a drag queen.
Oh, so he's a mutant that dresses in drag.
Yeah.
Okay, or she's a mutant that dresses in drag.
Whatever
I'm
you want to.
I'm
Yeah,
not
with
sure.
the term, whatever the terminology.
Right. No, I mean I don't know.
But yeah, that's the first, drag slash, and they do have like some multi shapeshifter, like they go back between sex, like certain characters. I can't think of the certain one, but like they can be
Well,
like male or
Captain
female.
Marvel was a dude in the beginning, and then
Right.
he became a chick later.
And like, even Mystique can be a male or a female,
Really? I didn't
She
know
can
that.
shapeshift into anybody.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Duh. Right.
So,
Right. But
I guess she's gender fluid, right? Hey!
you know what, Mystique? I'd go ahead and pay
Mystique,
I'd go ahead and pay my money up front.
Well, yeah, I mean, all blue and everything. And then, like, really, any fantasy you have.
All blue and everything.
Yeah, I mean, she can relieve the blue while being blue, but really, any fantasy you have, like, hey, I'm feeling like you being Sandra Bullock in, with the blindfold on tonight. And, and she can pull that off, And Mystique is the dream.
Pull that off.
Pull it off until it explodes. Let's see. So we got that one out of the way. Scientists get the green light to resurrect the dead with stem cells.
Oh, bullshit. Resurrect the dead.
No, they're like going through the spine and like pumping some stem cells, which could bring people back to life.
Oh no, I could see fixing dead cells so that they would pass.
No, like resurrecting the dead with stem cells.
Zombie
So the question-
apocalypse, here we come.
The question to Acadiana that we have is, who should we bring back first?
Your mama.
Well, she's not dead.
But she makes so much money. Think about how much more money she could make if she's dead.
For me personally, I don't know. The first one that popped in my mind was let's bring back Prince.
Prince?
Prince.
How about Elvis?
Or we could bring back Jesus.
Well, Jesus is a lich, so.
Jesus.
Hey, Zeus.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
Zeus.
Hey, Zeus. I wonder if that's how he got his name.
I don't know.
Did you hear Marlboro wants to end?
Oh, Jesus.
They want to end cigarette production. They want to end it.
Right. Oh, they're going to jewel.
They want to, yeah, basically
Right.
they want to
The
do smokeless
Marlboro
tobacco.
man will be jeweling from now on out.
But yep. Marlboro,
Okay.
which is a cigarette when back in the day when I
Sorry,
used to
people,
smoke.
we're not jeweling here.
Not juuling. Back in the day when I used to smoke, I was a Marlboro man, but then eventually, there's other alternatives.
Right.
There's other alternatives.
Well-
and for me though, I was always hesitant about the vapes just because, it's like, let me wait on some research to come out on these dang vapes, because I don't know, the FDA hadn't done their job in, who knows how long, so.
Well, they do bow down to their corporate masters.
Well, surely. Well, as far as
Big Tobacco does not want to have vaping be okay unless they can control the market. Hence, jeweling. Pod system.
well, it's still tobacco.
non-refillable.
They're still selling it, yeah. And it's
You
still going to be
you can get the
addictive.
nicotine from multiple sources. They use the nicotine salts, which is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
As opposed to an extracted nicotine, which is actually more natural.
They're going to have to let a generation die off. It's going to maybe take at least another 10, 20 years.
Okay, my blood pressure's better.
No, I'm not arguing against
I'm
the
just saying.
benefits. I'm just saying people aren't going to stop if they want to smoke. Unless it just it disappears. They've marked cigarettes out in New York. It's like $15 for a pack of cigarettes. So.
Really? That much?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's nuts. I couldn't afford to smoke in New York.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Let's see. Russia, did you hear they're trying to get away from the dollar? And in order to evade U.S. sanctions, they are planning on buying $10 billion in Bitcoin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Good. Maybe Bitcoin will go up now that Russia wants to buy it. Jump into your Bitcoin now.
Jump in. I guess that one's kind of been up and down, right?
I'm not playing that game.
I don't play that one either. How about a psychologist wrote in the New York Post, says that masturbation at work could be the new smoke break.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
This was in the New York Post.
No.
In the New York Post.
No!
The psychologist says that masturbation at work could be the new smoke break, and it's doctor approved. It relieves tension and stress.
Kid tested, mother approved.
And it's much safer and healthier than smoking.
Than smoking.
So, the only question is, how are you going to get past the work firewall?
The work what? Oh, right, because you need something to...
Something to look at.
Right,
you
that's
know?
something to work at. Well, you got your phone, and
But that's still in the same network.
you save some shit to your phone
Yeah.
so that you can
You gotta
rub
think
one
ahead here.
out.
You gotta think ahead here. So masturbate at work, folks.
No.
That seems to be the new way to go. Let's see.
I'd rather be at home and relaxed.
Talking about some cool 80s and 90s movies.
Oh!
Did you hear Nike's? They're out. They're for sale. The self-lacing sneaker from Back to the Future is here now. They might be $700, but you can. They
nuts.
lace by themselves.
If you can't lace your own damn shoes, then
Well, it just it's like a computer lace. So, and also, as far as old school movies,
Right.
What you doing there? You looking?
it's, AOC guest is trying to fucking connect to an internet.
Oh, okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Let's see. Scientists have created programmable shape-shifting liquid metal.
Cool.
How about that? Like liquid Terminators?
Right, exactly.
But they said they can't get like that big yet,
Yet.
but
Yet.
Like if
Yet
they've got that
being the
technology to
operative
where you
phrase.
can like program some liquid metal to do what you want it to, that's only a matter of time, folks. We're gonna have some liquidators.
Well, who's going to need the next wife at that point?
Touche. Let's see. So you know Mike Patton, the singer, old singer of Faith No More, Mr. Bungle?
Yes.
He was actually scheduled to sing the national anthem for the Rams playoff game last week.
Let me guess, they protested.
No, he actually canceled due to the flu. But he is notoriously known for canceling.
Due to the flu?
Big shows.
Is he like afraid of people?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I think he thinks people are tools, and like he's not a corporate person at all.
Right. I mean, why would he agree to sing at a football game, other than to
Probably just
not
to get his name
sing
in
at a
a
football?
little promotion.
Right. Right.
Then how about the Saints? They actually, which the Rams won that game, by the way, and they are going to be taking on the Saints this Sunday at 2:00. The Saints.
Wait, who dat?
Who dat? Say they're going to beat them Saints, not the Rams, hopefully.
Okay.
And
Are
the winner,
are the Bungles still playing?
they're
ball?
done.
Okay.
They fired their coach.
I mean, that was like Who Day.
They were Who Day, and they ripped that off from Who Dat, which
I know.
was actually, they've proven that Who Dat was
Who
created
Day
first.
was ripped off.
It was
from
created.
Who Day.
Who Dat was invented in Patterson, I think.
Louisiana.
Yeah, and like it was for high school team, and
Okay.
then like it made its way over to New Orleans and the Saints. And they've like tracked this back like all the way like to the '60s and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah. So
All
anyway,
right, so the Bungles are a bunch of rip-off mother fudge cakes.
we've got the Saints and the Rams this weekend, and they will be taking on the winner of the New England Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Did you hear about Atlanta's mayor talking trash to the Saints?
smack.
She said anybody but anybody but the Saints or the Patriots. Because of course we all knew that the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead.
The Falcons blow?
They were beating the Patriots 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and then ended up blowing it, and they lost that game.
Okay, that's where the conspiracy comes in.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracies about the Patriots. They've been caught cheating like 4 times.
Right. And the Falcons, the Falcons, really?
The Falcons. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be great, if the Saints actually made it to the Super Bowl and played the Patriots and then won 28-3 in Atlanta, just to rub it in Atlanta's face?
Well, yeah.
That would be pretty. Yeah.
That
They actually had a guy that decorated his house for Christmas, like with Christmas lights that said 28-3 with Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So he's already
blew it.
prognosticating.
He's definitely prognosticating. So, that kind of wraps us up with the news. Make like Trojan and wrap it up here.
Well, in some cases, you got to double wrap that wrap.
Sometimes you have to double wrap it. I've got a couple lists here that we can look at.
Oh, well.
How about a quick quote from John Lennon? John Lennon once said, "The more real you get, the more unreal the world gets."
That sounds like John Bruner.
No, Lennon.
Lennon?
Or at least on the meme I saw.
Oh, well.
Inspirational memes is where it's at, y'all, right? Okay, you always meet somebody for a reason. Everybody has a purpose, right? You come into somebody's life for a reason, or is it all just chance? Who's to say?
No.
No?
No.
Well, you don't believe in that kind of stuff. You're like stuck in the Matrix, you got to believe to wake up and, be in the real world.
Oh, I believe lots of stuff. It's just I don't believe that crap.
Okay, so according to this site, you meet people for a reason, and these are 6 types of people that through synchronicities you build connection.
Synchronicity. Now that's something I'm good with.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Maybe I didn't have the right verbiage for you, to spark your fancy.
Okay, go ahead and lay it out for us, please.
Okay, so someone might come into your life to remind you of something, such as your true purpose.
Don't screw that pooch.
Well, maybe your true purpose, or to add knowledge to further your purpose in life. Okay, this is some deep stuff. Can you handle it?
Yeah,
Can you handle it? Do you need some floaties? Do you need some floaties, Mo?
No. I'm
Okay.
No.
Number 2. they help you to grow. They help you to grow, which kind of, basically they're teachers for your soul. They're teachers for your soul. They come into your life and they help you to grow as a human being.
Okay,
that's their purpose.
Okay,
the people that are here to stay, they support you forever. I imagine this is your family, right?
No.
Or maybe your closest, bestest
My
friends.
closest, bestest friends.
Right.
Absolutely.
But even your closest, bestest family, which are sometimes your closest, bestest friends. If that's the type of relationship you have, right? Like a close related, like sibling or something, or cousin, you never know, that you grew up with. It's like a friend.
Yeah.
The people that are here to awaken you constantly, that's not always positive. And so like sometimes it might be your mortal enemy in life, that, basically, but they remind you, I can't sink to their level, and I gotta rise above or whatever it may be.
Or I need to reappraise my opinion on.
Right, maybe you put the pussy on the pedestal, and they weren't worthy. They weren't worthy. Because we've all been there, right?
I know I've not been worthy.
Let's see. People that are just holding a space for you. It's just a short moment, a quick passing. Okay.
I know a bunch of them.
And then the people that are destined to leave. You learn from each other, and then. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Quick date and gone.
How about old souls? You believe in that?
I don't understand the whole.
Somebody says, I got an old soul. Basically it's like the old wisdom, and they feel as though like they've lived many lives before, or they have kind of like I don't know, it's hard to kind of describe.
Can I be this cranky on just one soul?
Well, maybe like this is your first life.
Which means I got to do it again.
It's just reincarnation, which...
Oh, unless you live in Kentucky, then it's reincarnation.
Reincarnation, right. Or New Iberia, maybe.
Yeah.
Good old New Iberia. Let's see. So, maybe why old souls
Yes.
struggle finding love.
Why do old souls struggle finding love?
We've got 8 minutes to fill.
I know.
And so I've got the 8 to fill it. Hey-o!
That's what. No. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sing it in there every now and again. What are you looking at?
I was looking at today in history.
Oh, anything
Benjamin
interesting?
Franklin.
Oh, birthday?
Statesman. In 1706, he wrote the Poor Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, yes.
Not exactly
Come in
real
handy.
exciting.
Which that was probably more accurate than the weathermen of today. Let's see. So, why old souls maybe would struggle finding love? It's very sad.
Go ahead.
Number 1, maybe because they have a strong sense of identity and they know what they want.
I know what I want.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's like if you're not meeting the criteria of everything, and I know who I am, I know what's going to make me happy and what pisses me off, and
If you're not hitting it, STFO.
sure. Okay, old souls tend to be overthinkers, and maybe
Guilty.
Yeah, same here.
Guilty.
Maybe they're in just a twin flame relationship, which is different than a soulmate. As far as verbiage go,
okay.
a twin flame is somebody that basically you are meant to be in a relationship with them to learn from them, but they're not meant to be here forever.
Okay.
And it was just the purpose of them was to,
Help you along your journey.
send you on that path. So number 4, maybe because they feel as though they have a greater purpose in life, and that love would distract from that purpose. Whether it be your education or fighting a cause or establishing a career, whatever.
All right.
Let's see. Number 5, they won't settle for less than a soulmate. So we were just mentioning, sometimes they might think they're with their soulmate, but it's just the twin flame.
Right.
You're just meant to learn something from them, move on, and the soulmate hopefully is waiting.
Hopefully.
Number 6, let's see. For them, passion and infatuation is very easy, but a compatible and deep relationship is hard to establish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's.
I would say that's for most people. Even.
Yeah.
Number 7, they do not like modern meetings. such as online, basically dating online is just, they view it as unnatural, and doing the hookups and all that stuff is just like, let me meet some people in person kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, old souls tend to be natural healers. They attract people who need help and not love.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can actually relate with that one. I can actually relate with that one.
People that are
I do
damaged
attract
in
people,
some-
and like some people, and people naturally just tell me their problems. And so, I mean, it's one of those things that I think it is law of attraction, and, there's an energy out there, and people sense it, and, like, oh my gosh, that's a helper, let me, like, flock to them, and, tell them everything, and then, take their energy. They dislike the game, they don't play all the nonsense, straight up.
No, the game is bullshit.
They have sky-high standards. I've been, you got to try to keep it realistic.
I got standards, but I don't think they're sky high.
Well, some things you got to make, concessions on.
Right.
Nobody is the perfect.
Right. I'm not perfect. How can I expect you to be perfect?
And if you think you're perfect, then that's imperfect.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Number 11, typically old souls have baggage because usually a lot of that wisdom comes from pain that they grew from, going through a bunch of crap.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Whether it be like, near-death experience or abuse or, whatever it is, but they overcame it and they became a great person for it, and, say they got the baggage from it.
Yeah.
And then the last one was they feel fear is something as they feel fear as intensely as they do love, which I don't know necessarily about fear, but I would say possibly hate.
That I'm afraid of.
Because it's the spectrum of love and hate. Like they feel.
It takes just as much energy to hate as it does to love.
So we've got about 6 minutes. We can do a little today in history or whatever you got. Or we last night I came across this article talking about the company Tavistock, and sent it over to you. And it's been some very interesting. Tavistock
has some interesting points of view, but when you dig down deep, it's sort of white power-ish.
It's like the thing that was driving the Nazi movement. It's like a movement of the world's richest, most powerful people in the world, and like shifting to different countries.
Herr Goebbels liked what he was hearing from them.
Right. Katie Ann, if you're interested in looking up any of this stuff, there's 2 authors that I found that have written books about it. There's Daniel Estulin, it's Estulin, and then John Coleman. Both wrote a book about Tavistock Institute, which apparently, here's one that I read about, Flower Children and Drug Cultures of the 60s was by design by Tavistock Institute, which was comprised of a bunch of scientists and psychologists and different stuff like that. It's paid for by American taxpayer dollars. They pulled in like $6 billion last year.
But Tavistock, their whole deal.
Or that's their worth.
Shoot.
But anyways, let me finish this real quick.
Yeah, go.
The Tavistock Institute was experimenting with open-air rock concerts and mass mind control. Basically, Woodstock was a 500,000 drug brainwash people in the mud and the filth with the FBI and the government's full knowledge.
Oh, so MK Ultra on a large scale.
Essentially, yes.
And using music to program them?
Basically to break away from the norm and of having a family and getting the job and or whatever it may be, and ultimately the purpose of a lot of it was to try and break up the family, which of course if you look at divorce rates in the last 50 years, so they've almost doubled.
Because
if not
people
more.
Don't feel like they have to stay married to somebody that makes them miserable.
Well, and if you've ever seen Carl Sagan's Century of the Self, that is a very interesting book / documentary. Right. And it basically talks about how we shifted from basically looking within, looking without, and basically survival was dependent upon you looking out for your neighbor, and so because they would look out for you, and so that's kind of
Right.
It was basically more of a collective, and then it shifted to the century of the self, where basically it became about me and my ego and
What about you? What
and
about
just,
your needs?
becoming what about me? What about my needs and my feelings? And it's basically everything's centered and toward in the inward.
But your feelings suck compared to mine.
So rather than looking out for each other, we're looking out for ourselves,
Right.
and basically,
Is that not the American way?
it became the American way after World War II, which is whenever they came into our country.
Gotcha.
Tavistock Institute. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's highly interesting.
It's weird. Don't skip the part in the beginning before you move into how music and media and everything else.
Well, I mean, basically it talks about what a lot of the, they work with the Bilderberg Group. They work with
Okay.
the World Health Organization. I got you.
You're right. The Bilderberg Group, what's his name? Coleman is the one that's making his money talking about the Bilderbergers. This Tavistock thing was just a step up to his Bilderberg.
And a lot of it's run by the Rockefellers and their family. And so, I mean, you hear these same, I believe I read them about the Carnegies in there, and a lot of these are based on, as far as the mind control stuff, and they're saying how they hypnotized or brainwashed a bunch of these past presidents.
Right.
And, I mean, I think they would do the same thing to these celebrities and all the news people and all the stuff that you see on TV today, spouting out all the BS that's dividing us as a country, which we're ready to wrap up the show here.
Say those things that make those people that think like you want to vote for you.
Right. The need for the state. Oh, of course, and you call with
we get
2
a phone
seconds
call
left.
right at the tail end.
So we'll take it to end the show here. Welcome to Higher Thought.
Yeah, I just wanted to say your show is very refreshing. I appreciate your